So here we are again, coming to you live in the gym in Summer Park, New Mexico. This is the 343 commitment and still counting. 110 floors. Taking up our brother Michael Roberts, a firefighter with engine 214, housed with ladder 111, Brooklyn's Nut House. Right now, this is his 110 floors given in honor and respect of the sacrifice made so that others could live. This climb is dedicated to his mother, Veronica, his father, John, previous FDNY, and Karen. So our brother actually carried the badge number of his uncle, which was passed down to his father, which became his. But I'll go into that more when we get off to this first vertical. Total of 7 verticals in this 110 floors. After we get to the 7th vertical, that'll put us around the 101st floor. And right now, this is for our brother who is 31 years old on 9/11. Michael Roberts. Again, from engine 214. So we're about to kick that first vertical into play. And this climb will be on the way up. First one to go, starting now. So this is the 343 commitment and still counting. 110 floors for firefighter Michael Roberts. Engine 214 out of Brooklyn. Housed with ladder 111, the Nut House. Carrying him up with honor and respect for the sacrifice made so that others could live. Our brother was 31 years old on 9/11. It said that he had close to 4 years of service on the FDNY, and he had just gotten transferred to engine 214 in March. So right now this climb is his, finishing his footsteps and those that have gone before him. I found out something very interesting in doing the research in this climb. Our brother held a legacy badge, 6611, which was started off by his uncle, Bob, and then passed down to his father, John. And when John retired from the FDNY, it was passed to his son, Michael Roberts. So our brother carried a legacy of his own family in their badge number, badge 6611. And right now, I'm taking our brother symbolically to the 110th floor, the top of the World Trade Center. Dedicated to his mother Veronica, father John, and Karen. Taking him up. Our brother responded to the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil, in which he was part of the greatest rescue effort in U.S. history. Where upwards of 25,000 were saved because of the bravery, valor, and heroism that was shown on and after with those that worked the pile at Ground Zero for days, weeks, and months until the operation was declared complete. Back at it again for our brother. Going to the very top. Our brother was again 31 years old. And I found it very interesting in doing the research, which I'll mention this again tomorrow in tomorrow's climb. But there was 2 Mike Roberts in the FDNY. Both of them were 31 years of age. Michael, I'm climbing for right now, was out of Brooklyn on into 214. Michael Roberts, I've climbed for the World Trade Center, was off Tower Ladder 35 at the Cavemen with engine 40. His climb will be tomorrow or whatever the next climb is able to go up. But right now, this is for engine 214, Brooklyn's Nut House. Mike Roberts, taking him up all the way to the top for his family, his mother Veronica, father John, who was FDNY, and Karen, pushing him up all the way to the top with honor and respect given for the sacrifices made on and after 9/11, 2001. This is the reason why we climb. This is why we tell their stories. Just what we do. Pushing them up all the way to the very top. Going there now for engine 214, ladder 111 from Brooklyn's Nut House. Their unit patch actually looks like it has a version of the Planters Peanut guy with the Nut House. Right now, dedicated to the FDNY, off and on the line, and to our country, to keep that commitment, to never forget. So this is the 284th climb down to 59 brothers, breaking that 50 mark to reach the top prior to the completion of the initial 343 commitment. Before the end, still counting those who worked the pile who succumbed to 9/11 illness and cancers will take their rightful journey to the top. This is why we climb. Coming to you live from the gym in Sutherland Park, New Mexico. This is the 343 commitment and still counting. 110th floor Memorial Stair Climb for our brother, Mike Roberts. It said that Michael Roberts was a aspiring firefighter since he was a kid, basically living in the firehouse there in Brooklyn, where his family, his father, and his uncle were at. Again, he took over badge 6611 upon his father's retirement. They called it the heirloom. Taking him up for our brothers at the Nut House and our sisters across the FDNY. These climbs are dedicated to you all, so you know that they will never be forgotten, but instead they will always be remembered. These are the reasons that we climb. Pushing them up to the very top until we reach the 110th floor. For our brother, who told his mom, Veronica, when he was in the fire department, that he was going to be heroic, but he wasn't going to die. And he told his dad, John, retired FDNY, if he was going to die, He wanted to go on the big one. Well, our brother responded as part of the greatest rescue effort in United States history, where upwards of 25,000 were saved because of the heroism, valor, and bravery that was shown on 9/11, 2001. We're in the 19th year, coming up on the 20th year anniversary in September. We have not forgotten their names and their stories. They will reach that top all over the United States and across the world. It's a commitment we made to never forget, to always remember. And right here is my commitment to honor their sacrifices made so that others could live. For our brother, firefighter, with around 4 years of service to the FDNY, assigned to Engine 214, housed at Ladder 111, the Nut House out of Brooklyn. Stuyvesant Heights, I believe, is what they said it was. Carrying him up all the way to the top of the tower, symbolically finishing his footsteps. This is why we climb. To tell their stories. To take them up. So their families know that 19 years have gone by and we have not forgotten. They're not just a name. They're not just a photograph. We remember every single one of our brothers and those that have come after in the Ansel County. Taking them up one at a time till they symbolically reach the top of the towers. This is why we climb. To keep their memories and their legacies alive so they are never, ever forgotten. Taking our brother up, who was known to be respectful to all who knew him, a great family man, always had a smile on his face. It said that he worked the holidays a lot of the time so the other firefighters on crew could be with their families. Our brother deserves honor and respect, and this is his climb to get there now, to the very top, to that symbolic 110th floor, climbing with me as we go up all the way to the very top. This is why we climb. For the 343 and still counting. This commitment was made all the way back in August of 2016, and it's still ongoing. Not going to fail upon completion of this commitment. Taking each and every one to the very top. Down to 59 brothers to reach the top. This is the 284th memorial climb out of the 343 initial brothers to be carried. Taking them up, and we're getting close to the over halfway mark. And this 110 floors for our brother, firefighter Michael Roberts, out of Engine 214, housed there in Brooklyn, the Nut House, with Ladder 111. Finishing his footsteps all the way to the top. for our brother right here. Michael Roberts was 31 years old on 9/11. He was known to be athletic, a family person. As I said before, he actually wore the shield of his father and his uncle previous to his father. Badge 6611. Right now, we're over the halfway mark in this 110 floors. Coming up on the last 3 verticals before we reach the last pause at the 101st floor and finish to the 110. For our brother, who, along with 342 brothers, responded with so many others on 9/11. They made the ultimate sacrifice so that others could live. Taking them up all the way to that 110th floor, symbolically reaching the top of the towers on completion of this memorial climb. First climb of this 48-hour tour. I'll see how many will be able to get in this tour. Either 2 or 3, depending on how things go. Right now, for the Nut House, Engine 214, for brother firefighter Michael Roberts. Each step a closer one to the next set of floors. Going there for our brother out of Brooklyn, housed there with ladder 111, dedicated to his mother Veronica, his father John, a retired FDNY, and Karen. This climb will be completed, taking him all the way to that 110th floor, symbolically carrying him with me to the top to finish his footsteps. It's all for them, for the family left behind, the FDNY, and for our country, because we made a promise, and that promise needs to be kept, that we would never forget. We would always remember. And that promise is lacking across the U.S. 19 years later, and people have forgotten. I promise you this. Those of us who know will never forget. Instead, we will carry their names, their photographs, and their stories all across the United States. And they'll be carried across the world when they're taken up on memorial climbs in honor of 9/11, on memorial runs in honor of 9/11, and in things like this, a simple climb made commitment for each one of the 343 to reach that 110th floor, one by one. Each day on shift, another brother will get there. Until we finish. In the initial 343, before the end, still counting. We'll start taking their place, God willing, as many as I can take up. Coming up on the second to last vertical, for our brother, Michael Roberts, out of engine 214, housed with ladder 111. This is his climb. I'm just carrying him there. Pushing him up as we speak. 110 floors. Given in honor and respect for the sacrifices made so that others could live. This is the 343 commitment and still counting. Live from the gym in Southern Park, New Mexico. For firefighter Michael Roberts, off engine 214. Housed there with ladder 111 out of Brooklyn, the new house. There are only 59 brothers left to take their journey on completion. One more, counting down. Pushing them up. All the way to the top. This is why we climb. Dedicated this to his mother, Veronica. His father, retired FDNY, John Roberts, and Karen. We will never forget. All right. So now we're on the last rest before the last vertical. After that, we reach that 101st floor before we carry to the symbolic 110th floor. A little bit of time to catch my breath before we make that last push. For firefighter Michael Roberts, our brother was 31 years of age. On 9/11, responded to the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil. Part of the greatest rescue effort in U.S. history, where upwards of 25,000 were saved. Again, because of the heroism, bravery, and valor that was shown on 9/11. Pushing him up, going to that last vertical very soon, going to that 101st floor in this 110th floor memorial for the Nut House into 214, ladder 111 there in Brooklyn. Firefighter Michael Roberts. As I said before, this is his story. Our brother had around 4 years on. His uncle, Bob, was in the FDNY. Badge 6611. His father, John, then received that badge. Badge 6611. And then it was passed down as an heirloom to Michael Roberts, the son. Badge 6611. With what I have to say for just a moment, please forgive me for any misspoken words. This is actually 100% by memory. I study each brother for up to an hour before their climb, and then I go. And everything is recall. So if I somehow messed up on any info, my deepest apologies. For our brother from Engine 214, who had just transferred there in March prior to 9/11. Our brother was respectful, always had a smile on his face. He was athletic, enjoyed sports. Taking him up. We are now just shy of the top. Pushing him up with honor and respect. The 101st floor vertical to that 110th. Going there for our brother, firefighter Michael Roberts, out of Engine 214 in Brooklyn, housed with ladder 111, the nut house. Pushing him all the way to reach the very top. For our brother who's known to work shifts, or his other brothers could be at home with their families on holidays, to being the holder of his family heirloom, badge 6611. Never forgotten. And with that, our brother's journey to the top is now complete. Michael Roberts, Engine 214. Rest easy, brother. We got it from here.